Hi everyone, this is Amanda. It's the 19th of July 2018 and we're a few days away from the 22nd of July, which is Mary Magdalene's feast day. But I'm making this a few days early. And I believe astrologically it's quite a big day today. This video is going to be more of a transmission than anything else. I'm going to be channeling through both Mary Magdalene and Christ in this video. The energies are already here with me. So I'm going to jump straight into it in a moment. Just going to light some incense. I've got some beautiful candles already burning in the shape of hearts. I've got my roses around me. I've got some rose incense to put on. Let's just put this on. What I'm noticing more than anything is with Mary Magdalene, it's just very easy for her energy to come in. The Christ energy I'm more familiar with because it's been around me my whole life, working with that, but Mary Magdalene, to connect with her in a separate way is sort of new for me, but I'm finding it, she's very accessible. So I've got some music playing behind me which I'm going to keep on because it's just helping me to tune in, and I'd like to thank one of you for sending it to me, Petra Dobrovolny. Thank you, Petra. The CD is called Pearls of Silence. I'll put the link up to Petra's website in the description box below. Petra, it really helped me to connect into Mary Magdalene when I was preparing for the workshop. Petra's playing the crystal lyre in, oh gosh, I wish I haven't got my glasses on, 432 hertz, I think it says. And I tell you what, Petra, bless your heart, you often send me a few little CDs, and it just crossed my mind the week before I started channeling Mary. It's like I haven't heard from Petra for a while. And then this dropped through my door box and it is so perfect. It's the CD of yours I most love. I love it. Thank you. So Pearls of Silence. There's also one called Return of the Goddess, which is also very good. But I'm sinking into the pink ray today with Mary, so I've got this one on. She's telling me to get a rose from the vase for us. Just to connect into that for one moment, guys, just to bring her energy in. I'm going to use my sprays. Mary Magdalene Teaching and Anointing Spray is the one I feel guided to use. We're going to go straight into it. Mary Magdalene. Let's just invite her in, welcome her in, make a place beside ourselves for her to sit with us a while, to be present with us, to teach us, to honour us. And it's as though she wants to honour us, which is very humbling. That word humbling, you're going to hear a lot from me today. It's very humbling because Mary Magdalene herself hasn't been honoured over the years. And has been miscast by the Catholic Church in the 6th century as the harlot, the prostitute, the sinner, when she was none of those things. She was Christ's beloved, is what she's saying to me. And we'll hear from him later. So, welcoming Mary with the rose. And just feel her softness and her grace. I'm not going to read cards today, but there is one that I wanted to show you as I was preparing this for this video. And it's this one. It says, start anew and begin again. Start anew and begin again. It shows this woman in water holding the earth. And the message is, start anew and begin again. And this woman in this image is arising from a scallop shell. And the scallop shell is a symbol for me, and what she's shown me so far that links us to her. Can you see behind me the picture? The scallop shell. It's this picture. The scallop shell on the beach. And this picture shows this woman rising out of this scallop shell, holding the earth. So start anew and begin again. What does that mean, Mary? Let go of everything that you have been led to believe about me. Let go of misconceptions. Let go of mistruths. I am here. And I am well. And I am very much alive. I bring the gift of fragrance into a world that desperately needs it. Into a world where beauty is not prized as it should be. Indeed, the very notion of beauty has been tainted. Let us go back to raw beauty. Let us go back to the beauty of you. Let us go back to the beauty of your soul. Let us go back to the beauty of your essence. Let us go back to the beauty of this earth. Unsullied, untainted, pure and holy, just as you are. In truth, just as you are, pure and holy as the rose. It's time for you to open up your hearts and bloom. It's time for the world's heart to open up and bloom. It's time for my energy to bloom. I honour all of you that are receptacles for my energy to bloom. All those of you that have gathered my seeds already and spread them upon the earth. Soon too you will see the growth of your work. But there are many more planting such seeds. What are these seeds? These are the seeds of the divine feminine energy, called many things down the ages. Goddess energy, divine feminine energy, all as one. The return to the divine feminine principle of beauty and love and compassion and strength. Feminine power is not weak. Feminine power is not a lesser version of the male, but a complement to it in all its strengths, wonders, and possibilities. Allow my energy now to flow into your heart and open it to receive me and open to me as I am open to you, as I am open to the whole world, to each country, to each people, to each race, to each faith. I am no longer boxed in by dogma, institution, or the Gospels. I am free, and I am here, and I am one with you. I am part of you. I always was thus. Fill me in your heart and allow the part of you that is feminine to stir. Whether you are male or female does not matter. The feminine energy is within you. Let it rise. Let it rise. Let it rise. And as it rises within you and within the next person, so too shall we send out a fountain of love that can change the world, that can change your world and can change mine, that in truth can change the whole universe. Why were you so scared of this love? Why was humanity so scared of this love? In truth, you were not ready yet to receive it, but you are now. 2,000 years ago, I was hidden away, but I never died. I remained present upon this earth plane, just as my beloved Christ has done. Part of us remained here, accessible to you always. We have been within church and institution because that is where you expected to find us. But in truth, we are in everything and everywhere. And we wish to be explored in some of these new locations. Within the gardens of the earth, within the oceans of the seas, within the depth of your own body. We are already there. And I say we, because we come together as one, divine female and divine male together, as was always thus. no separation. As there is truly no separation within yourself. You are both male and female. And the missing part of you, the divine feminine part, now will rise. It will rise within men, and it will rise within women. It will rise within children. It will rise within the animals of this earth. It will rise within the elementals of this earth. It will rise. It is rising. It is here. I am here, as I always have been, and I always will be. I am your beloved Mary, and you are my beloved. Think upon that word, beloved. Be loved. Allow yourself to be loved. Allow yourself to open up to love. Allow your heart to open up to love. Allow your heart to open up to me. This is where I reside. I'm going to ask Mary to answer us a question, and I think the easiest way to do that, because it's just me sitting here, is to pull a Mary Magdalene card and just see what the subject is that she wants to talk about. So I'm just going to pull a card for us and then return back to her. Although in truth she is within me, as she is within you. Which subject shall we look at, Mary? Co-creation. Co-creation, thank you. Let me just tune into co-creation. Think of the moment that a baby is born. Think of the moment that a baby is conceived. Go back further. The creation of life requires both male and female. So too, the birth of your new world requires the co-creation of male and female working together in unity, in love, in equality. This is huge. This is huge for your world that has never known this. It will take some time to come in, but make no mistake about it. This new era is coming in. A new world that will be co-created between men and women. Look upon your world stage now and see the number of men in positions of power in all structures of the world. Know that this will change, that many women will step forward to co-create the new world with their male counterparts. The men are actually crying out for this. And it has been heard. It will happen. Life, new life, requires male and female working together. Just as myself and Christ worked together 2,000 years ago and continue to work together now. In truth, our ministry, and yes, I did say our ministry, was one that we conducted together. I followed Christ 2,000 years ago. His teachings were and are sublime, and I was glad to follow. Yet I carried out a vital role during those times that helped his ministry and was very needed. Companionship, love, support, financial resource, security, and an anchor. I was his anchor. As many women around the world are anchors in their own families, their own communities, and their own countries. She's showing me a boat, and she's showing me that she was the anchor and Christ was the sail. And the structure of the boat itself was God, source. Let no more tears be shed for either of us. Let no more tears be shed for either of us. Those days are done. The days that are to come are days of wonder and joy. Why would we co-create a new world based on an old paradigm of suffering and conflict and war? We will not. But we need you to help us. And we know you will. We also know your children will. And we know your grandchildren will. We also know you are helped by many ancestors also who are willing you on, willing us on. Christ and I have a huge family behind us, supporting us also. We are not alone any more than you are alone. How beautiful is that thought? I'm going to pull one more card for Mary. War and peace. That's what she was just talking about, war and peace. How many more chapters of that book do we need? Do you need as a species? You are stuck in a groove upon a record which says that 20 years of peace has to be followed by 20 years of war. This is not the case. It does not have to be like that. But until you let the suffering go and the expectation of that, you cannot step into the new way of the heart and love, which will herald in the era of peace and say goodbye to war. What guidance do you have for us, Mary, with regard to the state of the world at this time and the drums of war that we know are real? What guidance now for us in 2018 with that? Let's see what she says. There is a part of you that likes war. There is a part of the consciousness of Earth that enjoys war. This is a very difficult pill to swallow, but it is the truth. And until that desire relinquishes its grip, you will be in the chain of war and peace. For some men's animalistic need for aggression and war and one-upmanship to recede, the only thing that can eventually remove this is the opening of the heart to love. When true love resides within the heart of anyone, whether they be prince or pauper, the desire, the insatiable desire for fighting and land and war is not possible. Love is the only way. That is what we always taught and what we always will. The more of you that hold the candle of love within your heart, the quicker the chain of war and peace will be to recede as a memory. And it will become a stain upon this earth that in the future will be erased by many dancing to a new rhythm of joy and love and peace. Yet you do not believe this is really possible. This is another thing to work on, that this cannot be achievable. It can if you desire it so. And we will encourage you in that every step of the way. Okay, I've got a pressure in my right ear now. So this is Christ wanting to come in. So I'm just going to pause my camera and we're going to welcome Christ. So the right hand side of the body is the masculine. And we're going to welcome in the Christ energy. Christ. We have the sign of the Vesica Pisces on this bottle. Can you see that? Don't know if you can see that. The Vesica Pisces. The union of male and female. Let's bring in Christ. And I'm not using a deck for him, but I will pull a card for him from Art Through the Eyes of the Soul Oracle. Let's just pull one just to help me also transition between the two. We are one anyway, they say. Mary's like sitting back now. She's like just sitting back, welcoming the energy of Christ in. So we call in the energy of Christ. We call in the energy of Christ. He is saying to us, love with an open heart. And this picture here looks a little bit how I imagine Mary Magdalene to look, to be honest. Which says to me and confirms to me what I already know, which is that he loves her and she loves him. And what's interesting is, I think this is, I don't know whether it is meant to be Mary Magdalene, but to me it's Mary Magdalene because it says, anoint your beloved. Anoint your beloved. And she's got a little perfume bottle here. And of course there is the tradition that Mary Magdalene anointed Christ. So it's as though he's wanting to also anoint her. although this has already been done, he says. So love with an open heart. Let's link into Christ's energy and see what he has to say. There's a sort of, I haven't quite got the word for it because the energy is so high that the language we have doesn't really always match what you're feeling. But there's a soberness to his energy, a seriousness to his energy, but it's not inaccessible. And when I say sober, I'm not talking, it's nothing to do with alcohol, it's just a soberness. She is a little bit more, how to describe it? Christ and Mary. Okay, I'm hearing the word steady. There's a steadiness to him. Whereas with her, she's a little bit more flighty because she's very much about passion and igniting things. And he's just got this more steadfast, steady energy. So let's welcome in Christ. Okay. Thank you. I don't need an introduction, he says. You don't need to introduce me. And you know I'm here always with you. I do. Thank you. I don't need an introduction. I don't need a fanfare. I don't need a pathway strewn with palms or petals. I just need an open door to walk through. It's all I ever needed. I never asked for the processions and the fanfare. I never asked for the statues and the buildings. I just asked you to link to love. I was here to remind you of love. I was never about royalty or regality. I was never about putting myself above anybody else. I am a humble man. God himself is humble. The God of the Old Testament of wrath and anger and smite is no more. God is gentle. God is peace. God is love. God is not vengeful, and neither am I. We never were. Humbleness is a very, this is me talking now, humbleness is a very underrated quality in a world that is all about show and status and accumulation and materialism. Back to Christ, that's what he's saying. Humbleness is to do with how you carry yourself. But humbleness is not meek. Humbleness does not have stooped shoulders. Humbleness is sure of itself. Humbleness knows what it knows and does not need to prove anything to anybody else. In a world that sorely needs it, I am here to bring humbleness back. Humbleness is the antithesis of the ego. Humbleness balances the ego. No need for robes of rich adornment. I do not need that. I stand before you as a simple man in a white robe with bare feet. Mary, to my left, my beloved, stands barefoot also, in a simple robe, yet her beauty speaks for itself. Let your essence speak for itself. Let your essence speak for itself. No need to justify. No need to argue. No need to fight. No need to compete. Let your essence speak for yourself and let others see that. Others will notice. Others will see your vibration. That is what people saw within me. My vibration of light. I did not need the trappings. I do not need them now. You do not need many of the trappings in your own life. We understand. But there are simpler times coming. Although there are also great advances in technology. Tell me about technology. Streamlining. Tell me about technology. Why is he talking about technology? Oh. Technology will help you to explore other realms. Technology will help you to see other realms. Technology will prove to you that there are other realms. Technology will finally be able to dismantle many of the chains that have held society back from the belief that there is just one. There is just one way, one type, one being, one world. There are many worlds. I love this world though, but I also love other worlds and other realms. I walk other realms. Would that surprise you? Would it surprise you that I can sit with Buddha? That I can sit with the archangels? That I can sit with the galactics? That I can sit with you? And the reason that I can is I walk in with humbleness. No one is threatened by a humble man. But yet within that condition is so much power. I am presence, strength and love. I have so much love for you. If you could only see that. I have so much love for you. I have so much love for this world. And I have so much love for my beloved, Mary. Isn't she beautiful? Isn't she to be honoured? Isn't she to have her rightful place restored? It is time. And as a leading male figure, head through the last 2,000 years, I welcome her back to her rightful place. It is long overdue. Welcome, Mary. I'm just going to bring them together. My two crystals here to help me. Christ, Mary. Let's just bring them together. Christ. Mary. Just feel into that and receive that transmission of them together. Restored, respected, equal. See that there is no vying for who leads. They actually stand hand in hand beside each other. Feel the balance of that. Let their love feed you. Let their combined energy feed you. And then I'm being shown the Holy Grail, the cup. The Holy Grail, the cup. And it's as if we're being given the Holy Grail to drink from. And we drink from it. And it's not the blood of Christ. It's the essence of life, the essence of the new. Take a sip from the chalice that both are offering to you and allow that liquid energy to flow into you. I've got 4 cards here on my table in front of me. I've got Start Anew and Begin Again, Co-Creation, war and peace. And I've got love with an open heart. We need a fifth card. So we'll have a fifth and final message. I'm going to take it from the Mary deck. But it could be either of them that answer the question or channel something that arises from this fifth card. We'll see what comes up. Okay. Fifth card. Final message for today, that one. The Prophet. The Prophet. I want to see what it says about the Prophet. All unfolds in perfect time, and all you need to know is revealed at the most perfect moment. Be patient and trust, for angelic forces are at work in your life right now. Feel the presence of the goddess within you. Ask her to close your mind so that you may hear her guidance within your heart. The goddess speaks through feelings that sit within you. Feel her pull your heartstrings as she bathes you in her healing light. You will receive a sudden inspiration when you least expect it, and this will lead to a most positive outcome. Be prepared for a pleasant surprise. Now, I think this surprise is linked into what we're all going through in the build-up to the eclipse on the 27th. Mary's Day herself on the 22nd, but I'm also hearing Christmas Day, 25th of December, which of course is linked to Christ, because we have to bring them both together. It feels as though there's something within the time frame between I want to say the 22nd of July and the 25th of December, which is a revelation. Now, it's either a revelation linked into these two. I don't know, maybe something gets discovered, or there's a new document found, or I don't know, maybe more of us start to have visions of them. Or it's something very personal. It's something that either Mary or Christ bring into your life. I think it's particularly that. I feel as though real deep healing is possible. Real revelation is possible. Real breakthrough is possible. Because if you think about it, what we're doing is we're joining the male and the female together within us. We are honouring the male and female of Christ and Mary within us. And it's almost as though that then it's as though I'm being shown a vortex. It's as though we're creating something here, and it started with the workshop in Glastonbury. It'll continue with the work in New York when I repeat the Mary Magdalene workshop in November. I'm also doing a bit of work in Canada, and then we've got Christmas. So it's as though there are these staging posts where this vortex of light, and you think about a vortex, what it represents. I'm being shown the womb. I keep coming back to this card, start anew and birth again. So this feels collective for the world, and it also feels personal for us. I think we have to be in a very, as much as we can, a space of receptivity, of respect, of awareness of these two powerful energies that have always been here, but it's like there is a new way of being able to access them, approach them. It's the whole doctrine of the last 20 years. It's just like falling away to make way for this. I mean, wow. Start anew and begin again is what they're saying. There's new teachings to come, guys, from both of them. But this isn't going to be a case of it's given to a few chosen people who interpret it in their own way, with their own, you know, backstory that maybe influences it. No. This is going to be inconvertible, is that the right word? It's like irrefutable is the word I'm looking for. Irrefutable evidence that many people get at the same time. It's like a mass awakening to the truth of, I'm going to say the prophet, but I'm feeling I want to say, but the prophet is us. We're all the prophet, because we're all able to access, hear, receive them. And if you're thinking, yeah, but how do I do that? How do I do that? You're going into headspace. You're going into headspace, guys. You just sink into your heart. Your heart's the gateway. You just keep your heart open. Beautiful. Oh, wow. Okay. My throat is feeling something in my throat. I want to bring in the water spray. Okay. Water. Oh, okay. Thank you. I'm understanding it. Suddenly got a pain in my throat. I'm spraying the water elemental. This is like a rebaptism. Those of you that are linked into the old story, which is fine. If you still want to do, that's fine. No one's saying you have to change. But this card, Start Anew and Begin Again, has got the energy of water. She's in water. So let's put the energy of water around us. And breathe that in. And it literally is as though we're in the Sea of Galilee and we're just being asked to put our head underneath the water. And this time we come up and it's Christ and Mary waiting for us. And you are, I'm seeing the three of you then walking away from the water, equal. Divine. Let's just channel the energy of water for a minute. I also think there's some water-based events to come in our world, but I think it's to do with this. I keep going back to this. Start anew and begin again. What do they say? That when they discover water on a planet, they believe that there's possibility of life. So water is the thing that's going to bring in this new, it's going to help to bring in the new consciousness. And isn't it interesting that I'm channeling this work through and you know, I didn't realise it had to be this time, but now it's perfect. We're in the season of Cancer. It's the water sign, Cancer. And I knew I had to make this video before the weekend. I'm really busy. I've got a lovely weekend coming up actually. Got 3 parties to go to, birthdays, including one of my own. But then we changed to Leo on Monday, 23rd. So it had to be done now. Had to be done in this Cancer-y, watery energy. And what they're saying to me and what I know within myself as well is that Cancer as a sign is the sign of the home. It's linked to home. And so what this watery season is helping us do, even though it's very emotional, is water is helping to bring us home to Christ, to Mary. And you can still carry on with anything else that you believe. They're not trying to make you Christians. It's not that old thing. They're just there as loving guides. But it had to be in the season of water. Those of you that didn't watch my video I posted yesterday, it's all starting to make sense now, even more. I arrived in Glastonbury to the hugest downpour of rain. And it came from nowhere. As I was literally driving into the town, the skies darkened and it just deluged. You know, the sort of rain where you can't even get out of the car for a second without getting just like drowned in it. And we haven't had rain for weeks and weeks and weeks here in the UK. And then it stopped. I see now what that was about. Wow, how special was that? I think that's it, guys. I'm going to now just earth and ground, and let's bring in Archangel Sandalphon to help us with that. Archangel Sandalphon links to our earth star that is underneath our feet. I want you to feel your feet on the floor. Put your roots down into Mother Earth, into Gaia. Feel your anchor going down into the earth, silver anchor to the core of earth. And then just pull up some of that lovely earthy energy into your feet, into your ankles, into your shins, into your calves, into your knees. And when I'm talking about the earthy energy, I'm talking about the crystals, the minerals, all of that beautiful dark green energy, brown energy, red energy. Just pull it all up. So it's as though we've got a pair of muddy boots on. Okay. Let's take a nice deep breath in together and then exhale love. So let's take a nice deep breath in and exhale love. Namaste. Namaste. Much love. Bye-bye for now.